We're going to take a rather more in-depth look at the example in the text. Instead of using numbers in this absolute value function, I have entered parameters. This is a Texas Instruments model, and Texas Instruments use these devices called sliders. Casio models will do exactly the same thing, but this time they call them parameters. At the moment, I have the parameter A set as 1 and the parameter B set as 0. The point of doing this is that you can use the calculator to very quickly get a grip on exactly what effect these parameters have upon the shape of the graph. So in order to change the parameter B first, I'll use the slider and I can slide it into the positive. So B is now positive 2, and you can see that the effect is to shift the graph 2 steps to the left. If I take B into the negative, to negative 2, the graph has been shifted to the right. I will return it to 0, and we will now have a quick look at the effect of the parameter A. Currently it's on 1, and this gives you a slope of positive 1 on the right-hand arm of the absolute value function and negative 1 on the left-hand arm. If you change this to 2, you get gradients of 2 and negative 2, and 3 makes it all the more steeper. If you take A into the negative, the effect is to invert the graph, and what's going on here is, of course, you have a slope of negative 1 on the right-hand arm and positive 1 on the left-hand arm. I'm now just going to modify this, because one of the hard bits about understanding these transformations is where exactly the parameters occur in the equation. If I change A now, you can see that the effect is pretty much similar. It's B that's a little bit different. I've changed B to 2, and with A4 and B2, the transformation is half a unit to the left. I might return A to 1, and you'll see that the translation appears to have moved as well. Read the example in the text carefully, because you need to really make sure that you've got a grip on the difference between putting the A inside this absolute value and putting it outside. The most effective way of doing this is do a number of these examples for yourself, enter different absolute value functions, and move the sliders or vary the parameters if you're using a calculator, and fully understand the effect that changing their values has upon the shape and position of the graph.